So, if he gets a Cisco trade wrong, for a couple of days, he just says, all right, I guess I'm hanging on to it. And inevitably it came back. He did have to wait 22 years for it to come back, but it came back. See, these stocks, they won't come back. They'll go to zero, and you'll get a 10Q or a 10K from them every once in a while. Like, oh yeah. The next thing you know, they're in escrow. So they're fun to trade because that's what we do. And as long as you're trading around the faux show bro VWAP break, you see how you're getting paid. And with a $3 stock,
all right, good morning, everybody.
3.25.
Welcome.
Most of us are buying at least 1,000 shares, maybe 2, maybe 10. Cousin Richie starts these positions with 5,000, 10,000 shares.
Eric,
if he's
Mary,
involved.
Richard,
10,000 shares. If you make 30 cents, that's
David,
$3,000.
Steve, Bartman.
So again, that's all relevant. We're trying to just show you where the best
is not late.
around the faux show. And you see how it double topped at the 360. So right now, the if-then statement,
you
have to be as a trader. If you can
hear, let me know.
If it breaks 328, you're selling the rest. And if it breaks 361, you're expecting it to go test those highs. So right now, you're in limbo. You're not doing anything. The buyer from 325 is hanging in there. They're raising their stop to 328 VWAP because that's your last line of defense. And if it rolls over, you're out. But you sold some into the move, so you're sitting pretty with a profit. Now you can't lose. And now you're waiting. And listen, now that it's 9:18, like you saw yesterday, there's a huge amount of activity right at the open. If you're in a position where it's working for you, then you want to hang in there. But if you're right on the cusp of break even at 9:29 and 35 seconds, I don't like to hold into the open. But yesterday with the Qs, we were sitting pretty. It never broke VWAP. And of course, let me just show you the Qs. And you're probably noticing, hey, the market's down. First thing you should say is we probably won't stay down. So there's your little butt crack pattern. I like it when it's bigger butts. This is almost like 2 V bottoms. But you see the attempt to rally is right under the VWAP. So if UVXY starts to fall and the market breaks the top of here and then through the blue line, that's when you're waiting to see if it gets back. That's when you're looking at the orange line. So the market's already defined the trade for you, right? And by the way, we're not near yesterday's lows. This is nothing. This is nothing. This is not a sell-off. This is just a 3-point, gap down, trying to make you think the market's going to go down. Chances are it won't. But if it breaks the double bottom and then rolls through that last red line, which was yesterday's area, let me put on a 5-minute chart. If you break the double bottom from yesterday's lows, it's on. And when I say it's on, we actually might sell off a little bit more. But we'll see if it gets there. So going back to some of the ones that we were talking about, if you're just joining us, welcome back. Hopefully yesterday was an eye-opening experience. Hopefully somebody didn't hear, hey, the market never goes down. And that made you just buy stocks. And then the market went down for 30 minutes. And you said, man, that guy doesn't know anything. I certainly do. In the immortal words of Trump, I know more about trading than anyone. But that's it. That's all I know. I don't know about windmills or agriculture or anything else. I do know more about trading than most people because I've been trapped in my house for now pretty much 2014. I've been trading since 96, if you could believe that. And everything I've learned over those last 20, 30 years, VWAP has now clarified and crystallized the market rigging. And that is what I do now. I just follow the rigging, knowing that the market generally goes up. But, stocks like Humana, when I was telling people to please sell it, this is just me knowing how to trade, okay? There's knowing what you're doing, and then it meets VWAP. So if you bought Humana on Friday, which I hope some of you did, we all were involved, and then the idea was it was a takeover rumor. And then Monday comes, and it didn't get taken over. What do? Sell it. Right? You bought a rumor. You got paid. They did us a favor by having it gapped up. Sell it. And if that didn't convince you, how about a 1-minute multi-day VWAP reversal on Humana? So while everyone's hoping it gets taken over, short it, because VWAP's telling you it's breaking VWAP, breaking the prior day VWAP, and you crush it. Not about what you think, or maybe Cigna does buy you Mana. As a matter of fact, I do. Some reason I think this deal is going to happen, but I'm waiting to see it pull back to like 340. So a combination of knowing what you're doing and accepting the fact that the market is rigged, half numbers and whole numbers, and VWAP. So today we're going to be looking at 3M because it reported earnings. Now my VWAP traders are already short. I don't mention it because I didn't see it happen. But what we try to do here, and what I try to do, and what Solid tries to do, is demonstrate these trades and how often they work. So if you came in and you said, hey, look at that 3M, it's up huge. Great. Your next thought is, when do I short it? When it breaks a double bottom and VWAP. So let's say you did short it at 141. It went to 139.85. With just 300 shares, you would have made your month pay, your month's subscription fee. And that's what our goal is every day. Wouldn't it be great to get paid every day what you pay for a month? Fantastic. That's our goal. So with just this little tiny setup, and the reason I drew the red line there was that's where my trigger price would be. So again, the 141.04 right there, breaks the VWAP, and you get paid. So if, let's say, you did short the 3M, you cover half because you're winning, and you see that it broke VWAP earlier at 138.72. And let me show you what the prior day VWAP's telling us. The prior day VWAP's way down at 135. So you have to factor in that this stock could go back to 135 because that's what stocks do. So if it stays below the VWAP and it breaks this last little attempt to stay strong, you could be headed down to these prior candles because the market's rigged to go back to revisit prior price that was important. And there's an important price because it hit it twice and then rallied off it. So under the VWAP, so what's the shorter thinking right now? Oh my God, I hope it doesn't break over that price. Right. Because you don't want to stay short when it gets back over the VWAP. But when it's at 140.91 and you see a candle right there, see that? That's about another 50 cents. At a $141 stock, sometimes you got to let it breathe a little bit. And now the shorter's getting nervous, right? Because nobody wants to be short stocks that break back over the VWAP. But that doesn't mean you couldn't get paid. 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, in 10 glorious minutes. And again, now it comes back down to risk tolerance. If you shorted at 141 and you covered some at 140, it's a little bit easier for you to let it breathe a little bit. And you say, all right, if it breaks back over the 140.91, I hit the button and I get out. And again, pre-market trading is a little bit thinner. You see how there's a big spread there. If you're trading pre-market, make sure you have a good platform. You got to be on the bid and the offer. You got to be bidding in to cover your short and offering out when you're selling your long. You want to sell into the momentum and cover on the down move. Just like this stock GMPX, which is still long, right? Because it hasn't broke down. It's in limbo. So most traders trade because they say, oh no, it looks like it's going to go down. Looks like is not how you trade. It is breaking down is how you trade. Looks like, oh, I think it's going to doesn't mean anything. If you want to be successful, that statement doesn't mean anything. There is no thinking. You react to what is happening because we trade like machines in here. The only way to fight the machine is to be the machine. And how do you be the machine? Price, VWAP. Take your brain out of it. If this happens, then I'll do something. If not, you got to stick with it. That's the difference. That's the part that's hard. So what your job is to keep an eye on these tickers down here, get the watch list in the morning. And for instance, I didn't catch the 3M because I'm not watching it, but somebody might have. Somebody might have got paid. And look at that, the rejection at the VWAP. So the trader who's still short is still short because it never really broke the 141.04. Again, in the pre-market, it's a little bit more difficult to trade. That's why I'd rather trade the bigger stocks when the market opens up. Pre-market with these crazy weird ones, as long as there's 42 million shares and some liquidity, I like it. But nobody should be anxious to trade. Nobody should have the fear of missing out. There's hundreds of trades every day. And sometimes, like yesterday, it's the same stock 3 or 4 times. So I scroll back and I take a look at what I want to look at. So what are we looking at? We're looking at GE. Look at GE, right? GE got hammered on the earnings. Here's the foe. There's the show. Possibly bro. So again, if you're buying here, you're right under the VWAP, which is good, especially if you're starting a position. You can start longs. Again, when I say don't be long a stock that's breaking down, that's if you're long already and it's breaking. If you want to start a position under the VWAP, that's good because you're identifying your risks. So let's say you buy some GE. What price is it? I can't even read. 184.65. Let's put GE on the board right here. So let's say you're buying. Bang, you're in. 164.66. You just bought it. What's your risk? You're looking at that candle. So let's say you buy even on 100 shares. Split it up because you never sell your entire position at one price, even when you're losing. So let's say you just bought it. Bought it. Bought it. I don't know why I'm from Boston suddenly. There's one of your stops. And look at that right there where it held and held and held. Right underneath is the second one. And the low of the pre-market's your other one. And again, $182 stock, you're probably not going to be able to trade it without $1.50 or 2 points of risk. That might not be something that you could take. But look where your reward might be. You're thinking this stock's going to go to 192.57 because prior day VWAP's way up here. So the trader that's buying it down here is thinking, hey, I could risk about $1 or $2. But again, all these trades, I'd rather see you wait till the open because the opening candle can absolutely be just a day maker, or you give it all back in the first 30 seconds. All right. Now, if you're watching Humana, the buyers are starting to show up. Now, it's no volume, but again, keep an eye on Humana. I like the fact that it came back to my price, $257.50. And you've got 12 seconds. So let's watch GMPX for a second. And all those stocks I mentioned will be on these tickers going by. We'll go back to Verizon, 3M. And if you're short 3M, let's watch. Let's watch the 3M, right? Because the shorter who believes in the VWAP still short because it never broke the VWAP and it never broke the whole number. So at 141.04, they're going to get out. So that's your stop. Hard stop, meaning you're getting out of the whole thing now because you're not going to let this thing break VWAP and break a high with you still being in it. So let's talk about GMPX. You're still in it because it didn't break 3.25. Now you see why trading's hard? Look what they're doing with 3M. They're opening the spread to try to stop people out. Had $1 spread there for a second, but really nothing going through. So they know people have their stops at 141.10. They'll open the spread just to screw those people. But right now, you could still be short the 3M. And there you go. Now you're breaking that ledge. Hopefully you get the follow through, and the follow through should be to around 138.75. And if you're still long GNPX, okay, all right, you got the 365, and then they hit the circuit break, or they hit the trap door. That's why you sell on the way up, and you're also covering 3M on the way down. Right? You got a little bit more out of it, but didn't really follow through too much, did it? And again, these are the opening moments of the day. A lot of tomfoolery. See what I did there? Usually I use other words, more colorful words. All right, so GNPX, you're still long. I don't know why I keep slipping into a British accent there. GNPX, you're still long because it never broke down, right? So let's see. They hit the trap door. You're still waiting for 379 or 320. Wow, it actually went to 326. Almost got you. And you should still be short the 3M. Some other tickers right here. Verizon looks like it's rolling over. RTX looks like it's rolling over. I'm not going to be sitting here saying, please buy this, please do this, please do that. I'm going to keep pointing out trades and try to walk you through some ideas so then you get a feel for what we're looking at. The trades work. I can't be in 13 different places at once. Right? So right now I'm staying focused on 3M. Right? So far, if you were short, you obviously want more out of it, but it's really not cooperating right this second. So what do? Well, it's about to break VWAP. The guy that's already short, he could let it breathe a little bit. Personally, I won't let it breathe. I'll go back now to that prior candle high, which is 140.30. Again, you're going to get stopped out the way they're trading this thing. You could see it'll open the spread and they'll get you. Right there, they got you. And now you're not short 3M anymore. There you go. Lickety split. You're done. Now, the trader that said, hey, well, if the shorts are covering, maybe I buy it. Right? I didn't suggest it. But some traders will do that. So if we're working a short and it's looking like, and it worked, the short's going to want out. But let's go back to GNPX because it's still in play because you haven't got stopped out yet. Right? And you just got paid a little bit more. Didn't hit 379, but that's 3 or 4 different times where you could have taken some profit, 350, 360. And if you bought Humana, I love you, right? Didn't say, please buy it. I told you to watch it, right? Sets up, pulls back, holds VWAP, holds VWAP. These are reasons to buy stock. Limited risk. Your risk is staring you right in the face. They're at 360 and a half.
Hey, Kenny, can you hear me?
I can.
Can you explain the VWAP lines for people who might be new? Blue and the yellow.
I missed what you said.
Explain the blue and the yellow VWAPs, people.
Sure, yeah. Today, what you're looking at, basically, the blue line is the VWAP that's live. It's forming right now. Orange line is what we've calculated to be the most important VWAP to watch on a prior day basis. So it's grabbing yesterday's data, today's data, pre-market, aftermarket, and spitting out a number. And what we found is that stocks tend to travel between that and this. And when you get through those prior day VWAPs, we start looking at multiple time frames to give us more direction of where a stock could go. And as you watch, sometimes, depending on where the stock's been, prior day VWAP acts as support, and sometimes it acts as a target. Like, for instance, well, when I find one, I'll show it to you. But right now, if you're long GNPX, you're looking for 376, where you should sell. You haven't sold yet. You got the 373. That's the trap door again. They're not making it hard. They're not making it easy on you with this one. But that's your typical action on these $3 names that are reverse split pieces of garbage. This stock will be at zero at some point this year. But there's your 376. Congratulations. Sell it. Sell it at 376. Now you can raise your stop to where it keeps pulling back to, because you know this stock's going to zero inevitably. But right now it's working out for you, right? That's why we kept it on focus. So you almost got to 4. Again, you better be quick. But at least you had your order out there at 376 and got done, right? So now there's no way in hell you're letting this thing break 336 ever again in your lifetime or my lifetime. All right, let's go back to that 3M because, again, choppy chop. This is what you get, first 10 or 15 minutes of the day. But if you're prepared to trade the chop, you can do it. Or I tell people to wait 15 minutes. If you've never traded before, if you've never seen this action before, don't trade the open. If you've never seen this action before and you're trading on a platform where you're typing in prices, don't trade pre-market. If you don't know what offering out or bidding in means, don't trade pre-market. The easiest thing to do is what I'm teaching my buddy Dave here. He's my trader. Wait. Trades continue to set up, right? You were short 3M, then the longs actually had a little trade. So now Dave, who I've taught, we don't like to buy stocks that are gapped up on earnings. So Dave sits here stalking the trade. He's like, all right, here comes a chop. Okay, one up, one down, one up, one down. And this is why, if you're here looking for just picks, here's where you're buying. I'm going to keep blasting them out to you. Depends on your comfort zone of being a trader. Dave's short now, right? I don't have to tell Dave. Dave's like, okay, here comes that short. And it got to the price that we were talking about this morning. There. So that's his trade. Whereas some trader might have just shorted it here, made this money. Maybe some trader actually was fast enough to buy 40.32 and sell it for 41.32. I like the short stocks that are gapped up on earnings because inevitably profit taking ensues. And when does profit taking ensue? VWAP breaks. Well, let's talk about our friend GNPX here, right? You're still long, right? From the pre-market, from 320, because it still hasn't broke down. Hovering above VWAP. Telling you have permission to stay along this piece of garbage, even knowing it's going to be at zero at some point today or tomorrow, because it's working. And if it breaks 397, it's probably going to $5. Now, I haven't even mentioned the Qs yet, right? Huh. Faux show bro, because the market never goes down. Maybe you heard that story yesterday, right? So if you heard me saying that and you laughed and you said, oh, market never goes down. Okay, let me know when the market goes down, right? So it was going down for a 2 whopping minutes. And then you understand that the market never goes down. And when is the best time to buy stock, knowing that the market's not going down? You guessed it, that blue line. So if you bought the Qs at 492.69, now they're at 493.55. What do? You sell some here, knowing that chances are we're going to go test the orange line, because that's what stocks do. Because the market's rigged and it never goes down, ever. I know you might think that sounds irresponsible. One woman called me criminally negligent for saying that every day. But until I see a market that goes down and stays down, I'm going to keep saying that. And I'm a bear. The market never stays down. So in theory, it never goes down. Has anybody looked at a chart from 1920 to today? It goes from the way, way back down on the left-hand side all the way up to the right-hand corner. Market never goes down. That doesn't mean the Qs are going to go up 14 points today. It just says, I want to be biased to the upside in a market that never goes down. So let the VWAP confirm your bias. Bang, bang, bang. There's the VWAP break. You can identify risk right here, because prior candles are your stops. And lo and behold, there you got paid on a QQQ trade. And if you're still long GNPX, let's go, people. Breaks 397. It's going to go to 4. Wait, I thought you said 5. Well, it has to go to 4 first. So let me just point out again, this is not a pick service. If you want Glick's picks, it's more about sports gambling, because that's gambling. You want to learn the market mechanics around VWAP and price, so then you can be your own pick service while I'm sitting here guiding you. You could have been long the Qs already. You could have been buying Humana. You could have been shorting this 3M on the rollover like Dave. Dave's kicking ass right now because Dave was patient. And Dave knows my favorite trade. Selling stocks that gapped up, that break VWAP and roll over, right? Dave knows where it's going. Probably 136.11. So the guy in the back saying, but you just said you were buying the stock earlier. Well, whatever the case might be, it's not about what we're saying here, right? It's about what is happening. So again, pre-market, different from the open. And now we're what? We're 11 minutes in. Anybody thinking about, does anybody want to be long a stock that's doing this? It's gapped up. It broke VWAP. It broke those lows. That's those triggers. It just got to the 136.5. Traders will do something there. You're looking for 136.11. And then you keep in mind that stocks don't really want to go down. And that could be the bottom of the day. And now in the next 3 candles could be up 15 points in your face. You're not going to let it go up 15 points, right? So your stop is the top of this candle, 138.66. It's all about knowing the rigging, understanding price action. It's not about where stock's going to go. You get an idea, and then it's about what you're going to do on the way there. So right now you're hoping it hits the 136.12 because you're bidding it at 136.12. And you understand, well, if it breaks 138.72, I'm getting the hell out of the way again. Because I am a slave to the market. It's not the other way around. We don't control what happens. But if you're long GNPX, you got to be still long the stock. What are you doing? Let's go. Now you're consolidating at a higher level. But you understand that it could hit 397 and drop $2. So your stop now is at 355 and 335. And if you're long the Qs, and you're laughing with me because we all know who's long the Qs, right? Dave's long the Qs because Dave understands, and my cousin Richie understands now that we don't go down ever, right? So if you think that's funny, right? You think that's irresponsible? Great. You're never going to make money as a trader, ever. This is trading live in the moment. Where did the blue line go? There's your orange line. Chickadee ching ching. Because the market's rigged. It doesn't want to go down. So let VWAP be your validation. Hey, looks like the market's going down. Wait a second. It's breaking over the VWAP. Buy it. Because chances are it's going to go back to the orange line. Sell it. Now you sell and you say, wow, I can't believe it worked again and again and again. And look where 3M is. Dave's laughing his ass off because he's long the Qs and he's short 3M. Blue line, orange line, cash out. So now you're cashing out. You're bidding into your 3M short. And now you put a stop on where it broke down from at 137.50. And you say to yourself, maybe the stock's about to drop 8 points from here because you got a 1 minute and a multi-day VWAP break. And generally when stocks go through the blue line and through the prior day, they keep going. And this one's about to go negative. And there it is. It just went to break even. What happens at break even? There'll be some short covering here. So you should cover some more here. But you should stay short the 3M with Dave because Dave knows this is the fade. This is the finger of God. And you waited. And you understand now. When companies report blowout numbers, it doesn't mean anything. It means that you probably should look for a short. And the VWAP validates that. And now you've crushed a 3M short. And you got a blue line to an orange line because this trade has been working now for 12 years in a row at an ungodly rate. And if you just sit and wait, you will get paid. And now you're still short 3M, laughing your ass off as the Qs are going up. And that tells you that you know what you're doing because you're long the Qs because they're breaking VWAP and you know the market never goes down. And 3M's a completely different story because this is just an earnings fade through the 1 minute, through the multi-day. And now you got a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal of the trade that hasn't failed in 2003, 2004, 2005. It's been 12 years. We've only had 6 losses in 10 years. There it is. I don't know what to tell you. There it is again. Dave's laughing his ass off. My cousin Richie's making sick money right now. Did you get involved on the 3M short? Or were you sitting there waiting for me to beg you to do it? Come on. 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. We sing songs about it. If we had the music queued up, there you go. So even if you didn't short it here, here, or here, it's telling you, short it. Stay short. It's headed down to 136. Now it broke 136. Where's it going to go? Oh, 135.81 is the next VWAP. Oh, 135. All right. Not much VWAP to choose from down there. But you just got paid on the trade. And if you didn't make any money shorting 3M, don't wait for me. This is not about me, my friends, and what I'm doing with my money. Dave's trading my money. Dave's kicking ass. Oh, my God, it just bounced 2 points. Didn't it? Right? So It's amazing when it works this well. You see this top of this candle right there, 134.91? Dave knows that we put our stops at prior candle highs. So Dave will stay short, even though it bounced 2 points in his face just now, but he covered on the way down. Who the hell is Dave, you're asking, right? Don't worry about Dave. Dave trades for me because I'm too busy trying to find ideas for everybody else. So now Dave knows stops here. And now we could cash out, and I'm on my way to play pickleball already. What time is it? It's 9:47. And we just conquered another day with some piece of shit stock GNPX that you bought 3.25. You just got stopped out at 350, and now you're done. You just crushed it on a 3M trade. And now I'm going to get more coffee and try to find 3 or 4 more ideas. I'll be right back. That's right. We haven't even talked about options yet, right? I'm all about stock trading. The easy answer is in the money weekly options. So when I hire my next Dave, I'm going to have Dave. Maybe I even let Cut and Richie touch my money. But the option trader, we just trade at the money weekly options. So if you have to ask, I'll just say the same thing every time. Can you trade options on these? Of course you can. That's why I trade real stocks. So if you can't afford to trade a 3M short with a couple hundred shares and make yourself 6 points, then you buy. What are you buying? The closest to the money, so the 140 put, maybe the 138. Anything after that is lotto plays, which hit too. So let's go look at the options just for a second. In the money weeklies, because we don't care about what's going to happen tomorrow. So you want to buy the cheapest one available. That's the weekly at the money, right? So you're talking about the, let's go 137s. There's the VWAP break, 121. There's the multi-day VWAP at $5. So the low entry price of about, let's call it 139. Now let's round it off to 150. And now they're at $4. This is all about navigating the market and trading what you see. Right? So again, if GE is doing something, or FCX is doing something, or ASTS is doing something, or Humana is doing something, or Serve is doing something, or Summit's doing something, I can't possibly be in all those positions at one time. So we try to stay focused on what I like the best. And what do I like the best? Earnings fades, reversals. The 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal trade has not failed this year. Not one of them. So if you wait, like 3M short, which we're still short, Dave, right? So here we are. You got yourself a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. Gets through the 1 minute, gets through the multi-day. That's yesterday's VWAP. 99.9% of the time, you're going to get follow through when it goes red. So it's the 1 minute. That gives you the tip off that we're about to go down. Breaks prior low. You got to go short there. Don't wait for me, because that identifies the trade. Trade the VWAP. The VWAP traders say, hey, here comes the roll. They're shorting 140 at 140.30, and they're using the prior high candle. And again, if I'm talking too fast, what I'm going to do in a couple of weeks is I'm going to sit here on a Saturday for 3 hours, and we're going to go over charts. And it's only this trade. This is the only trade I'm going to show you for 3 hours. There's 4 varieties of it. Either you're going to roll, or you're going to dip and rip, or you're going to gap and go. There's not many varieties of what a stock can do. And once you master those 3 trades, then you'll never wait for me to beg you to tell you, oh, please, for the love of God, you want to be short in 3M here. Can I come to your house and press the button for you, sir? That's not how it works. You're going to get an eye-opening experience each morning about how the market works, the blatant manipulation, why the fade works. Because if you're not fading, you're not trading. This is day trading at its best. I invented what we're doing here. Didn't exist before me.
And VWAP is just validating all those conspiracies and all that rigging and all that manipulation that I thought was happening. Now I see it. And it's based on price and VWAP. And if you're saying, what do you think 3M is going to do now? I don't know. But I know what I'm going to do, right? You covered some. You're kicking ass on this trade now. You're not going to let it go against you, right? So now take all these red lines and throw them out because they don't count anymore because you're in a winning trade, a phenomenal winning trade. And you got stopped out of GMPX where? At 375 and 350. You're done with that. You're not still long the stock. You're not waiting for, oh, where do we buy it on support? There is no support. There is no spoon. It broke down. Leave it alone. It's gone. Stay focused. Now, it's not about where a stock goes. It's about what you're going to do, right? So what are you going to do? You've locked into some profit because you're covering on the way down half numbers and whole numbers. You've crushed it on this 3M short. Lock it up. See that green candle where it bounced and then it broke that candle and then it tried to break it right there? That's your stop. So now you say to yourself, I hope it goes down to 330 so I can make some more money. But if it breaks back over $3, 132.75, you're going to get out of the rest and say, wow, that was awesome. And that's how you trade. It's not about where things are going. It's about what you're going to do when other things happen. And that's what I teach you. I don't know where we're going from here, but I know at 132.75, I'd probably lock the rest of this trade up and say goodnight. And we're only 23 minutes into the day, right? There will be other trades, right? So let's go back to the QQQ for a second, right? And ASTS. Did I mention ASTS? No. But yesterday when I said this stock is under accumulation, this stock is under accumulation. What does that mean? Funds are buying it. So if mutual funds are buying this stock, you know there's going to be some sort of tomfoolery, or as we call tomfuckery. You know they're going to try to get you out. And where do they try to get you out? Back to prior day VWAP. It's called the faux show, bro. They're going to get you out. They want to shake you out. They want to get the weak hands out. All those cliches about trading, they're real. This stock's under accumulation. Why? Because I'm telling you it is. So then you say, okay, cool. Well, I'm scared to trade 3M, and I don't know about this GMPX, and I never even heard about the Qs, but I know about this ASTS because I read about it on the Reddit, blah, 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 and the stock twits and the Twitter. All right, cool. So you're in, right? You like that name. Oh, man, it popped and then it dropped. Where did it drop to, friends? Back to the prior day VWAP, and it held it. Purest form of manipulation. They're trying to get people out by shaking it out. And then it breaks back over the VWAP and breaks. And look at the trend now. So again, it's not about me. It's about what I'm showing you. Like PayPal. Hey, it's under accumulation. Yeah, certainly is, right? 3 weeks of accumulation. Stock hasn't gone anywhere. That's why I'm not an investor. I own the stock for 3 weeks. It's gone absolutely nowhere. But each day, I could come in knowing it's under accumulation. Oh, it's over the 1 minute and the multi-day. Maybe I should be buying it. Maybe you should. And then it goes up $1. And there's another trade. I could go on and on. It's not about me, right? I'm just showing you the greatest trade that I've ever witnessed in my entire life. I try to find 2 or 3 for myself. Me and Dave put a couple of trades on, and then we leave. The learning never ends. You'll get better and better and better and better. And the more comfortable you are, the more you understand, the better you are. And then you say, thank God I met Kenny Glick. I thought he was crazy. I thought he was very loud and condescending and arrogant. Not about me, friends. This trade and everything I'm angry about is every mistake I ever made in my life. I wish I had met me 20 years ago. I wish I would have understood VWAP 20 years ago. This is it. This is the way to trade. There is no other way. Everything else is a long-term investment. You want to buy a long-term investor? QQQ. I'll see you in 4 years. You'll probably outpace everybody. Market never goes down. Oh, I've seen it go down. I know. Yeah, it goes down once in a while, but then it goes back up. All right. But anyway, that's irrelevant. I'm very off-putting. You want to make money? This is how you do it. I'm not going to pussyfoot around. I don't beat around the bush, and I'm certainly not subtle. And this is where I normally put on some Alec Baldwin. It's fuck or walk. You trade or you hit the bricks. If you don't know that line, we probably can't be friends. The bids are weak. Fucking bids are weak. You're weak. Probably lost a couple of people already, but that's all right. We'll be doing this 10 years from now, and they'll be licking our boots. Oh, I used to be a swing trader. It's a tough racket. Beat it. I could find trades all day. All right, give me a stock, any stock. I'll show you how to VWAP it. Ready? Give me any symbol you want. I'll show you. It's all about the setup. It doesn't even matter if the trade works. Wait a second. What does that mean, Kenny? Don't we only want winning trades? It's not about that. It's about what you're going to do when you're wrong. We get them wrong all the time. It's lovely when the 3M works out so well and you got paid on some worthless piece of garbage like GNPX. All right, let's go. Joby. Oh, God. Every time the company says something good, the stock goes down. Garbage. They make that. But this is the look right there. Ask and you receive, shall receive. So you like the stock, right? Okay. Looks like it's a thin volume. What, they got 4 shares traded on this thing? What is this? This is the company that makes the I don't know what they do. They make the freaking man. You could, what is it called? A drone for people, right? Yes, the air taxi. There you go. Garbage. Awful. This company gets a contract with the government and still goes down. Garbage. No offense if you own it. I hate most stocks, by the way, except for Eli Lilly. So look, consolidation at the VWAP. Where do you go to? You went to the prior day VWAP, and then it rolls over and dies. But let me just show you a couple other charts here. This is today's chart. That was 5 days worth of VWAP. But wait, I don't want to lose focus for a second. Hang on. Watch this. Right? Dave, my trader, right? He bought the blue line, he sold the orange line. And when you've sold some stock, it gives you the permission now to hang in there with the jiggling. All we're doing is jiggling and shuffling along. Now that you've broke down and held at these levels, you could use that level and the stop and the VWAP as your out, knowing that the market doesn't want to go down. I just want to keep Dave focused because Dave's long the queues. And we should be probably looking at the Trump stock. All right, so let's go back to Joby. Again, why don't I trade this stock? I mean, 1 million shares isn't bad, but it's generally just a lump of turd that sits around and does nothing. So that's why I don't look at it too much. Ooh, if it's above the orange line and continues to break it, yeah, you're a go, go, go. Godzilla. That's what you're hoping for right now. So you're still red. So you've achieved goodness. You haven't achieved greatness yet. Blue line or orange line, we sell here during this shuffling. Not all of it, because you never sell all your stock at one price. One of the first lessons I've ever learned. Because you don't know what's going to happen next. So now you got the blue line to the orange line. That's the money. That's your money. That's your money right there. Now you take off 50%. You've got the heavy lifting out of the way. And now you say to yourself, all right, let's say you got 400 shares. You sold 2. You got 100 shares left. It's not about where it's going. It's about what you're going to do if it rolls over now. So your stop would be 439.40 and the VWAP 493.14. And now we just wait. Just like GMPX, right? It didn't want to work first, and then it worked. So right now we're still long the queues because we got what we wanted. I'm trading, by the way, my trader trades the queues every day. And again, with options, I love the options on the queues. They have the 0 date options, phenomenal. But let's go back. We're missing a couple of trades here. Here's Philip Morris, right? Again, not a huge fan of trading stocks that are already up, but look, it keeps consolidating. It consolidated. This is the jiggle and the shuffle. You know, the first 3 or 4 minutes. Jiggle, 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 shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. My mentor called it the jiggling. My friend here, Solid, calls it the shuffling. Jiggle, shuffle. If it jiggles and shuffles, stays above the VWAP and breaks highs, that's a reason to buy. And again, let me clarify. That doesn't mean it's going to work, but you could identify risk. And the way you stay in this business for 30 years, like I have, is identifying risk and admitting the hardest part really is the hardest part to saying, okay, I'm wrong. I have to press this button, even though I'm have to put my ego aside. I really thought this was going to work out. Here it is, not working. What am I going to do about it? I'm going to sell it.
All right. I think that's going to be where we wrap it up for the day here for this little free window peek, if you will, into Kenny's room. Hope you guys enjoyed the 3M trade. That was fun to watch. As the message says there on the screen, hitthebid.com, right? Call us 323-421-7910. Kenny's room opens every day, pretty much at 8:30 a.m. in the morning and goes all day. Even if he's not there himself, other people are there live trading, sharing their charts all day. You can get Kenny's custom VWAP script as a member, the blue line and the orange line, or the blue line on the dotted orange line. So that's for members only of the room. And every membership comes with a 2-week risk-free trial. So check it out. Again, hitthebid.com. Call us if you want to know more. He's here every single day doing it, and he's crushing it. And we'll be back tomorrow, same time, 9:15 a.m. Eastern time, right here on the channel. And that'll be kind of the last one of these we do for a while. So we'll see you there. And thanks for watching, everyone.